There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Well, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
A great white shark was stolen.
Oh, someone stole a shark?
I got stuff for you don't even know about.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt.
Who knows? Anything could be possible. Anything could be possible.
It's really big abduction vibes.
Holy moly.
It sounds like you were abducted.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
Ooh.
Timber! Welcome back to Cryptids the Corn Podcast. I am the great and powerful mystery.
And I am Jay, clone 74.
And we have a lumberjack-inspired episode, if you couldn't tell by that. Great improv at the beginning.
Yeah, all impromptu.
Yeah, I didn't tell him about any of it.
Get your axes ready for this one, fellers.
So this is episode 49 of season 3.
You know what that means.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, we have a lot of new listeners. They may not understand the format.
Oh.
Let's tell them.
Real quick.
So, episode 50 of every season. So our seasons run about 50 episodes. There's a little there's always bonuses here and there kind of thing.
Right.
But our 50 numbered episodes are in a season. Episode 50 is normally a big hitter. It's normally a 3 to 4 parter. Examples are Mothman and Loch Ness.
Right. So get ready for... So that means
Wednesday
big things are coming.
Yeah, Wednesday will start the season finale. But we won't be back. So after the season finale, we'll take our little break, however long the season finale lasts. It may be 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes. I don't know. But we'll come back officially the 31st of July. Will be our actual episode, like season 4 start. But yeah, so this how it goes. You know, it's a big multi-parter episode. They're really hard to research because we try not to leave anything out. This topic, I had to leave stuff out, and it's still a 117-page script.
Well, let's not scare him off quite yet.
I just feel bad because it's just I don't like leaving stuff on the table, but literally so much.
Let's just leave it there.
But this episode, so since Wednesday, we kind of switched them around since that's going to be the season finale is on Wednesday.
Right.
This is going to kind of be a shorter impromptu episode with enjoyment. We're still going to do our Patreon shout-outs. We're still going to do our new reviews. All of our top of house stuff because we're not going to do that in the season finale because
it's too much.
There's already so much.
Right. So let's get to what do we got first? Reviews or Patreons?
Let's do first Paranormality Magazine, as always.
Oh, yeah.
If you could buy anything Paranormality Magazine, use Corn Crew, and we get a kickback from it.
Yep.
P.O. Box. That is if you want to send us art, if you want to send us snacks, you want to send us anything at all.
Send us a letter of encouragement.
Yes. Use our P.O. Box, and that is P.O. Box 75, Ada, Ohio, 45810. That'll be in the show notes as well.
Yep.
Anything you want to do. As of recording this, our merch page is active and running. It's, you go to cryptidsofthecorn.com and then go to merch, and you can hit that little shop button. Now, there should be, as of now, we'll see because we record a week early, there should be the Tundra to the Tropics t-shirts available. These are only available to the last week of September. They're really cool arts, so go check them out. But they're going to be printed in a different style. They're going to be in the same t-shirts though, so don't worry. They're going to be our nice soft t-shirts we get.
Oh yeah, only the softest.
But they're going to be printed in a full color, non-bleached version.
Yeah.
But it's 2 really cool arts. They haven't been released yet. Hopefully they're up there. If not, I'm promoting it before it gets there.
Right.
They will only be available to the last week of September.
Do you remember?
The last week of September? Yes. Conferences. We have a lot coming up. This is we had our little summer break, but now they're starting to come. The first weekend of August, that Friday and Saturday, is the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival.
Gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah, we're speakers there.
No, wait, we're vending.
No, sorry, we're vending.
Yes,
We're
yes.
vending. We're vending. The other one we're speaking.
Speakers, yes.
So we're vending at that one. Come hang out. Depending on who comes, and if you're a cool cat, we may invite you back to hang out after the event.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
No, we rented a cabin, so we may have a little like fire with listeners and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. That sounds a little bit more appropriate.
I don't know what you were getting at. I'm never inappropriate. No, because we're just, if you guys are there, we'd like to hang out with you and everything.
Yeah.
So let us know if you're coming to the Hocking Hills Bigfoot Festival, so I can kind of plan how many people, and I can make sure we have the stuff, like the ability to the ability to host
Yeah.
that many people.
You were close.
Squonkapalooza. We are speakers at this one.
Correct.
Do you remember the date?
That is August. Is it 26th?
I want to say it's 26th.
Yeah. If not, it's on our Facebook page.
And it's in...
Jamestown, Pennsylvania.
Is it James or
Johnstown?
Johnstown,
Pennsylvania.
Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
All the names are about the same.
We're speakers at that one. Come hang out. Once again, if you're coming, let us know. We try to do the same kind of thing where we'll try to have a fire or something afterwards to hang out with our peeps.
Yeah. Squonkapalooza. It's their first annual Squonkapalooza. So
oh yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
Let's make it a big one, guys. If you're around the area, let's all go. We'll have a good time there.
Then ours, Fortean Airwaves. How do you say it?
Fortean Airwaves. Fortean.
And this is October 6th through the 8th. It's a whole weekend thing here at Ada, Ohio. It's got who?
It's got Cryptids of the Corn podcast, Uncomfortable podcast, To Kill the Mockingbirds, Appalachian Intelligence, The Bump, and Hollow Sky podcast.
Woo!
So it's going to be a big podcasting conference where you can kind of meet all of us and talk to all of us, hang out with all of us at the venue.
There's two podcasters panels. There's one on Friday, one on Saturday. There's we're all going to speak. We're all going to have merch. There's a pancake breakfast at the bowling alley on Sunday.
Right.
It's all included in the ticket price.
We're all just going to hang out. We're going to each do a show, and you guys get watch it live and just have fun and be up and close and personal and watch all this magic happen right before your eyes. That's Fortean Airwaves. Check out. We'll have links on our website or on our Facebook page on the show notes below. Come check it out. Tickets are limited. There's only going to be 200 tickets, and that's it.
They're already selling.
So once you're in, you're in. If you miss out, you're going to have to catch us on the next tour.
All right. Last of the updates before we get into reviews. The best way to contact us is email, and that's cryptidsofcornpodcast@gmail.com. We still need more stories for season 4. So Wednesdays now are going to be, we're going to try to do listeners submitted stories or encounters or whatever.
Right.
Paranormal related. It can be ghosts. It can be Bigfoot. Something in the field that we cover.
Even dreams.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, write it up the most detail you can. Send it to the email, and tell us if you want us to use your name or not. And then basically it'll be every Wednesday we're just going to cover one. So I know a couple of the guys have submitted 3 or 4, which is perfect.
Right.
But we're only going to do one at a time. So whether it's a short or a long story, it's only going to be one at a time to help us get through the whole season.
Right.
So I think we have 10 or 12 stories already. We need 25 for season 4.
Why only not 50?
Because only half of our episodes are those.
What are the other half?
Our normal episodes.
Interviews and stuff and normal episodes. Gotcha.
No, interviews will still be on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Duh. I was thinking 50 weeks. That's a whole year of...
Oh my gosh. No, so please email us your encounters. Email us your stories. Anything you feel like sharing. Like I said, I have some backlog, but we'd love some more.
Right.
Anything to add before I get into reviews?
No, let's get the reviews.
Oh, there's one more thing. And I'll try to announce this for the season finale too. When season 4 releases, we're changing the release time.
Oh, that is new.
We're going to do 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So if you're one of our midnight people...
We have a lot of you.
Sorry.
But from what we've been told, the algorithms and everything, we would do better if we release at around 5 a.m.
Right. You got to please the algorithms.
It just helps us grow.
Right.
If anybody has a really high not wanting to do that, let us know. We'll, we're not set on this hardcore, but it's something we wanted to try.
Right.
All right, you ready, Jay?
Yeah, I am ready.
All right, the first I have 3 from Spotify and 2 from Apple.
Okay.
And once again, if you're an international Apple listener, email us your review also, because this one was hidden from me for a while.
Hey, I don't know why it does our acts. I just don't understand it
Like
sometimes.
some Australian ones it posts and some it doesn't.
Right, exactly. It's so
and
weird.
I had to go find this one. Anyways, so yeah, okay. Lacanum major, LACHLAN.
Okay.
Lichen,
I don't know.
lichen.
What's in a name?
Major? I love how you get straight into it and don't mess around. And when you do, it always seems or when you do get off topic, it always seems vaguely relevant. I've learned a lot, and now I can put a name to my experience. 10 out of 10. Well, thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Major.
Flavius 2016. FLAVIUS.
Flavius.
There are some tribes in Africa whose diet consists mainly of cow blood mixed with milk. Could it be a nutrient value of the blood? And that was posted on our cattle mutilations episode.
So gross.
I don't know. It may be. There's like those tribes, I believe, are doing it for like iron and stuff like that, and their diets are very deficient.
I mean, it sounds nutrient beneficial, or I don't
like
know.
our digestive systems only pull a very limited amount of stuff out of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like blood is something we don't digest well.
Unless you're a vampire.
Hmm.
It's the one exception.
I
bet it
guess.
looks like strawberry milk. I bet it's wonderful.
And Mandy, love your guys' work. We recently listened to the Art Bell Archives PC, and guest was talking about a type of UFO called rods. The guests believed that they were organic and can swim through the air. I think they're right.
Yeah.
Rods are something we haven't covered because I believe a lot of them are bugs. A lot of them are birds
Yeah.
on film. So like we did a little bit of it a long time ago where we talked about flap speed of some bird species and shutter speed of some cameras. And like birds will be like 3 or 4 times as fast as they can flap, or some insects 3 or
Right.
4 times. So that's what causes that blur motion of looking like a rod, is because it's the bug is basically 4 pictures of the bug in one actual snap of the camera.
Right. I understand what you're
It's
saying.
a hard thing to explain.
I understand what you're saying.
Let's get to some Apple reviews. Chomp into this cryptic cob with these guys. I've been a subscriber for a while and am thoroughly enjoying their weekly shows. Informative, insightful, and thought-provoking community. The juicy cob content isn't bad either. Just saying. Well worth chomping down on this cryptic cob. Keep up the great work. Jojo from Australia.
Thank you, Jojo.
Thank you, Jojo.
That was wonderful.
I know. I was trying to read it and not laugh.
Biting this juicy cob.
Okay, and the last one I have is fantastic. Thank you for all the entertaining and informative podcast. I especially enjoy the high standard of respect in every episode. No one is ridiculed for sharing their experiences with a cryptid or unusual experience. The humor between the host is great. Mazel tov on the new baby, and thank you for all you do. And This is from Cornorius.
Okay.
CERNOSICE.
It was too fast. I don't know, but
CERNOSICE.
this won't help.
NOSICE.
NOSIC. Oh gosh, Cernosice. I don't know.
Cernosice?
Maybe. If we butchered your name, we're sorry. But thank you for the review. Yeah,
And-
I mean that's all. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just blown away every time. But how people enjoy us.
Okay.
Even I don't enjoy me most of the time.
Patreon. T Hill. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, T Hill.
Thank you, T Hill.
Now you ready for the topic?
I am. What are we going to talk about today?
Lumberlore monsters.
Ooh, the Lumberlore. There's
Okay.
a lot of these out there.
Yeah, we're just gonna do 3.
Okay.
They're kind of short, but that's why we're doing 3. You just want to get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Wapaloosie.
Wapaloosie?
The Wapaloosie. And so this is from Fearsome Creatures of Lumberjack Folklore. It's a book.
Okay.
I just love they give all of them scientific names. Geomyotrideus Clerotetratrius.
Okay.
It's a really big scientific name.
I wonder what it actually means.
This is from the Fearsome Creatures of Lumberjack Folklore in North America in the early 19th and 20th century. It was said to have lived in the damp forest of North Idaho by the St. Joe River at the Pacific coast, or to the Pacific coast. It was the size of a sausage dog. It has the feet and toes of a woodpecker. Its tail is also spiked, which helps it climb the trees. The The Wallapalooza feeds only on mushrooms that grow on trees and is said to become very agile at climbing, much like a squirrel. So this thing looks like, imagine a wiener dog.
Okay.
Then imagine the wiener dog has bird legs.
Bird legs?
Yeah,
so
like
four,
a woodpecker.
So four
bird legs.
Okay.
Then imagine it has a scorpion tail.
Okay.
And then imagine like the front of it kind of looks like a big mouse. Like the head. Giant ears.
Okay. I mean, that's quite the interesting creature. So if you guys don't know already going into this, the Lumberlore are all, what would you say, just creations of...
Not all of them.
I guess not, yeah.
So
most, I don't know.
what happens is a lot of times, in my opinion, lumberjacks seen natural phenomena and they made a creature to explain the natural phenomena.
Right.
Most of the time. Stuff like we talked about a couple weeks ago, the slide rock bolter.
Right.
You know, it was to explain landslides and all this stuff that looks like a giant creature was causing it.
Most famous example is the squonk, I would probably say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that's become the most famous. Slide rock bolter used to probably be the most famous Lumberlore cryptid ever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Recent years, it's become the squonk.
Squonk's overtaken it. So yeah, in terms of relevancy, the squonk, they were finding these puddles of foam or something on the ground, and so they created the squonk creature to explain how those puddles got there. And we speculate what it could be, but that's just kind of how the origins of most of these pop up.
You ready for some sightings?
Okay, yeah.
A lumberjack story tells of how a hunter once shot a Wapaloosa. On an investigation, and upon investigating the corpse, he decided to make a pair of gloves out of its skin. He tanned the skin and made the gloves with great care with the fur on the outside. But when he put them on to show off to his friends, the most bizarre thing happened. When he picked up his axe, the gloves naturally moved by themselves to the top of the axe blade. The man dropped the axe in horror and discovered that whatever he picked up, his hands would climb to the top of. Because they could no longer find a tree, he then described them as useless gloves, and the living Wallapalooza gloves were last seen climbing the logs in the forest.
That's pretty cool.
So this guy made a pair of gloves out of them.
Right.
And the Wallapalooza is so good at climbing that's all this kid wanted to do was climb.
It just wanted to... so it climbed to the top of the axe. I get it. Okay. Shoot, I want those gloves. I want to start climbing trees and stuff. Just put them on my feet.
I wonder if it just rip your hands off as it went.
I mean, maybe if you resisted. Maybe. I don't know. But this creature ain't that big. I think you can outmuscle it.
No, the creature's dead. You're just wearing its skin.
Right. But, it can't,
Do you become... Oh, so they're in Monster Hunter.
Oh, they are?
No, I said in Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay.
There is the Fatalis, which is the truest, like the hardest core dragon. Like, it's the destroyer of civilizations.
Okay.
If you make armor out of Fatalis, after you kill one, the armor will slowly start growing around you, and you'll become a new Fatalis.
Oh.
So, like, wearing Fatalis armor is, like, seen as, like, really bad, but it has the best stats in, like, the whole game.
Right, yeah.
But you start becoming a Fatalis.
So what you're saying is the
What if you wear Wapaloosa, you start becoming a Wallapalooza?
Gosh, I wonder what would change first, your feet or your tail?
Probably your hands.
Well,
You're just gonna look down, and you're gonna be like woodpecker hands.
That'd be pretty funny.
And then the gloves will be on your shoulders, like massaging fur out of your skin.
Ooh, that'd be nice, actually.
And then your arms and legs will shrink up one night, and now you can't get out of bed anymore.
This sounds like a cartoon short or something.
Yeah, there you go.
The man who created the Wapalooza gloves.
In the new book, Fearsome Creatures, the one that came out in 2015, the Wallapalooza was the most innocent and least dangerous of all 20 of the fearsome creatures in the book. However, the rodent is both falsely accused and indirectly responsible for the Harlequin Massacre of 1993.
What?
Yeah. One of the worst disasters in Washington history. Aside from Washington, the Wapalooza lives in British Columbia in the Pacific Northwest. The Wapalooza is formerly a mouse and is a chinchilla, or the offspring of a mouse and a chinchilla. The prequel terms for more than one Wallapalooza is Wallapalooza.
I like how they give the scientific names, the plurals, like everything.
Plurals, not prequels, I'm sorry.
Okay.
The creature's fur has the ability to come back to life even after it's been killed and sewn into clothing. The Wapaloosie has a spike at the end of its tail. It helps it climb trees. The flesh is sour in taste.
Mm.
The Wapaloosie is harmless and adorable, and that is the lowest fearsome level of all the 20 creatures of the book. The Wapaloosie is gray rings on its body and has has 2 toes on each of its 4 feet, cat whiskers, acute baby eyes, and sometimes black hair on its head. And the scientific name changed in this new book
Ooh.
to Adorabilis.
Oh, that's nice.
So a little bit of changing with the lore from the old book versus the new book.
Right, yeah. You got to upgrade.
It is mostly compared that to an ii,
Oh, okay. I know what those are.
which is marsupial.
Right.
Not a marsupial, sorry, a lemur. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Lemur.
Too
It's weird.
much.
It's weird. I knew kind of what you meant, but and I just went
What are
with
the
it.
other weird?
But then I realized that's not right.
So yeah, it's a lemur.
So it's a lemur with bird feet, legs. I got bird legs. Mouse head. Oh, yeah, mouse head with whiskers.
They don't explain how it caused the Hoquiam.
I was
the
gonna-
Hoquiam massacre.
I was going to ask you about that.
Hoquiam.
Quuiam. Hoquiam? I don't know.
The Hoquiam massacre. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll have to research that, but...
Why don't you look it
Wapaloosie.
up while we're on break?
Oh, okay, good idea.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to take our little break, and then we're going to move in to the second part, which is 2 more of these fearsome creatures.
Okay.
All right, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hope you enjoyed that break. You know,
We
whether,
did so much.
yeah, whether you got you a drink at the local rest stop or you're at home and you just got yourself a refreshing beverage out of the fridge. Welcome back.
Did you find it?
I did. I'm reading about it right now.
Is it
but
horrible?
It's just saying the deaths of Hoquiam couple were ruled a murder-suicide. I mean,
So how did the
I don't really want to get into the because
Okay,
it's
so
pretty graphic.
the Wapaloosie caused a murder-suicide?
I don't understand how, unless maybe because it involved a stabbing through a chest cavity. So maybe it's tail. Maybe I don't know.
You ready for the next one?
Okay. Yes.
This one's like a little tiny short description. Like a lot of these lumberjack ones are really tiny. The rump tits full.
Let me read that. Where's it at? Okay, the rumptifusal.
The rumtifusal. Can't read.
That's a weird.
Villus
That's a rough one.
Stumpius.
Stumpius.
Villus stumpius.
Okay.
How'd you say it?
Stumpius.
No, the actual name.
Oh, rumptifusal.
The rumtifusal. The rumtifusal is a large creature that sleeps with its body wound around a tree trunk. This action would make it look like the fur coat attached to the tree itself.
Mm-hmm.
It has a long, fine pelt with a rich color like a mink. It's fearsome and possesses great strength. An unsuspecting lumberjack would pick it up, thinking it was a coat, but instead speedily being devoured by the awoken monster. Using pores alone its inner surface, it sucks bones clean and leaves only small balls of cloth of its victims. These balls look similar to that of spat out by owls.
Oh, like the pellets.
So this thing looks like a fur coat. It wraps around the base of a tree. When you pick it up and try to put it on, it literally wraps around you, sucks the meat off your bones.
I thought it said it sucks the bones out.
No, it sucks the bones clean is what it says.
Oh, okay.
And then leaves only small balls of cloth and skin, like an owl pellet.
Pellets, yeah. That people may, pick apart in future science classes. And
What do you think about this thing?
this one's pretty rough. It even has a MetaZoo card.
Yeah,
Like-
they all these have MetaZoo
oh,
cards.
they do? Okay.
That's kind of how I picked them.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's good. Because we love MetaZoo. I mean, MetaZoo's sweet. If you're not on the MetaZoo train, I mean, what are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. But no, I like this. This one's Interesting. I bet it did start. I bet they were seeing like weird, like little fur patches around trees or something. I would like to know the origins of this story because
Probably seeing owl pellets, but really big ones from the ancient owls that used to eat men.
Maybe so. Yeah. What they pick it apart, find like a human skull in there,
Just shoved into an owl pellet.
that would be insanely scary. I would get out of that woods immediately, especially if you're cutting down trees.
It lures its victim within its reach. So this is the actual entry from the old book.
Okay.
Lures its victim within its reach. The animal employs one of the oldest strategies strategic devices known, that of playing on the capability of its prey. Being a rather slow-gated beast, it has to resort to some form of low cunning. It's large, strong, and ferocious. The pellet is fine, long, and thin with rich color of mink. The body is often flattened, somewhat the way that old Hank McGims looked after he was rolled off his porch roof following the annual fireman's dinner, and sort of splayed himself out flat when he just slid himself edgeways between a couple of shed doors for a coffin.
What?
That's some old story. This
Okay.
lumberjack stuff makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
The shape makes it possible for this creature to drape itself over a stump, and about the butt of the tree standing near Tot Road. It's such fashion. Oh gosh, this is so written, so oldie. Its high-grade fur coat and robe someone has dropped. Naturally, a passerby comes over for a closer look. With lightning-fast flick, the blanket-like body completely envelops its victim. In numerous minutes, sucking pores lining the inner vertical surfaces are promptly brought into the action, and in no time, the bones are sucked completely clean of flesh. Some of these high ginger scientists, literally is what it says, some of these high ginger scientists
Okay.
will tell you that these little balls of fur are often seen beside old stumps were spat out by owls. But you don't go and swallow the yarn. These balls are all that's left of the clothes worn by the greenhorns who ventured too near.
Too near to the rumptifusel. Man, yeah, if this were actually a real creature, this is not one I'd ever want to stumble across. So, just a warning to all you out there. If you ever see a fur coat, draped around a random tree in the forest, you know what? Leave it be.
I was going to say, lumberjack lore often is two things. Number one, it's often explaining a natural phenomena, with a monster.
Right.
The second thing is often telling a warning or a story or a life lesson.
Which means leave things alone.
So what's the life lesson here?
Leave nature as it is.
And what's the life lesson with the wild Lucy?
Don't stab your spouse in the chest with an object.
No, I think the lesson.
I'm just kidding on
the
that
lesson with the rumptifusel is that things may not be what they seem. There's no such thing as a free gift like that.
There you go. That's probably a
Like
good
something
one.
like that.
Like a fur coat.
Don't if it's too good to be true, it often is.
Right. That's true.
So I think it's that kind of mentality, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with you on the rumptifusel. The first one I don't know.
Understand, unless it's like literally they were seeing like bird tracks mixed with like mouse tracks, and it was just like a fun thing.
Weird.
Like it said in the Wild Lucy that it's the lowest rating of the fearsomeness.
Right, yeah. It's not even scary or harmful.
It's got a lower rating than the squonk.
And that's saying something because the squonk can't do nothing but unless you're like an inch tall and you could drown in the squonk tears, that's about as dangerous as it could be.
Are you ready for the final one of this short episode?
Yeah.
The Winnipoof.
Winnipoof?
Yeah, we've covered this one before.
Sounded familiar.
On our Wampus Cat episode.
I'm Googling it really quick.
This is the thing that eats Wampus cats.
Maybe that's why I
The
remember
gilly
it.
goalie fish is also what it's to know. It's Pescabarius tumacinus. A person demonstrated the last step of how to capture one, the Winnipoof or the gilly fish, erroneously called the Winnipoof or the Winnipoofit. Is a large fish notorious for its juicy flesh and for its name that sounds something like out of the House of Hogwarts. They are only found in perfectly circular lakes, hence they are very elusive. But if you do see one, it is said that you should immediately make an attempt to capture it. Catching one is tricky, but it's doable. To capture, row to the exact center of the lake, Bore a square hole in the water. Bait the hole with cheese. The best type of cheese will attract the Winnepouf sooner are Stillion, Brie, Lindenzacks, and Lindenberger.
Oh,
Usually the Winnepouf will smell it quickly, and if you get one off this list of cheese, it will come to the surface to feast. When it emerges, spit tobacco juice in its eyes. This will make the creature so angry that it will not go back into the lake.
yeah.
You can easily net it. The Winnepouf lives in Idaho and is one responsible for defeating and putting the Wampus cat to rot. Because the Winnepouf comes down both sides of the lake at once.
I love the tobacco spit in its eyes. I bet it burns.
Just
It's so ridiculous. Like,
so I want to go back over this.
yeah, there was a lot going on there.
To capture it, you row exactly to the middle of the lake.
Right.
It's only found in circular lakes, but from the Wampus cat lore, it's not only found in lakes, it's found in circular parts of rivers too. But
Okay.
it has to be perfectly circular.
Makes sense.
Like most of the time you had to lure the Wampus cat into an island in the middle of a perfectly circular section where rivers are on both sides.
Gotcha.
So you row out to the perfectly center of the lake. Like 100% you had to be right on dead center. If you don't, you're wrong. Like
You
you're
ain't
not gonna-
catching
yeah.
this thing.
You bore a square hole into the water.
They do make tools that do drill square holes. But it's a very
That's
unique.
not the problem.
It's not. It's a very unique bit. But you need a giant one, probably. I would assume.
No, are you not getting this?
What, bore a square hole?
Into the water.
Oh, I thought you just meant into the bed.
No,
Okay,
you
Oh,
have
no.
to bore it into the surface of the water.
makes sense. Makes sense. It's very, very easy to do.
Yeah, it's doable.
Now, I don't know if you're actually like. Yeah, I mean, and you just draw a square in the water. You just draw a square
And then you have to put a piece of cheese in the hole.
right in the middle.
It
Now,
has to be stinky cheese.
if you get me a nice hot piece of brie right out of the oven, smear some preserves on top of it, and give me a cracker, I will be in that hole too.
And then once it comes to eat the cheese, you have to spit tobacco juice in its eyes.
So
And
funny.
that will enrage the Winnepouf.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
And then you net it, and then you eat it.
Makes sense. Now, I can relate to the tobacco juice, not in the eyes, but when I was like 9, we went on vacation in Florida, and it was me and my 2 brothers at the time. My sister, no, I was probably less than 9 because my sister wasn't even born yet. It's probably like 7, and we drove from Ohio to Florida for vacation for the summer, middle of summer, real hot. Mom and Dad, they dropped us off. We got to the apartment, whatever, the condo, whatever we were staying at the time. And they just dropped, they unloaded us. We unloaded all the stuff. And they let us, okay, we're going to go to the grocery store, load up for the week. We'll be back. So they left me and my brothers there. My brother's old enough to watch us. We're cool. I got so thirsty because we had nothing. I'm not going to drink out of the sink. But I see a nice root beer sitting there on the counter. And I was so thirsty. I grabbed the root beer, shook it. There's still some in there. So I took a big, nice gulp of the root beer to quench my thirst. When I got to about the bottom, or my neck meets my chest and my throat, that's when I knew it wasn't root beer. It was my dad's chew spit from the ride all the way down from Ohio to Florida. And I took the biggest gulp of it because I was dying of thirst. And every bit of that came right back out, and my throat was burning, and I spit it all over the table, and I left it because I was angry and upset and still thirsty, and my throat was on fire from my dad's chew spit. And I knew at that moment, still to this day, I will never touch chewing tobacco. I will never use it. It's disgusting. That ruined everything. Well, obviously it would ruin it for you, but just one of those good childhood memories that is burned into your soul for the rest of your life.
So the Winnepouf
Yeah, so I can relate to it, why you get so angry.
is found on both sides of the lake at the same time. Now there's some
The same
conjecture. Now there's some conjecture whether it's a pair of Winnepouf
Okay.
and they happen to work like on opposite sides, and that's just how they feed, or it's two-headed creature like a long worm,
Like a bobbit worm.
like a bobbit worm, except with two ends,
Right.
like two mouths.
Right. I don't know. I was going to say, what's it called when snakes have like 2 heads?
Oh, I don't know. Having
Me-
two heads.
Yeah, Siamese bobbit worms. That's what this thing is.
Siamese bobbit worm.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of that?
I would love to know the origins of this because this is beyond even fisherman's tale. You know, you just bore a hole in the water.
Like, I think this comes from the impossible task. So when older members of one group try to give impossible task to younger members or greenhorns or whatever.
Is it like equivalent to snipe hunting?
That, because snipes are in the Fearsome Creatures book.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that, or something to where, like, blinker fluid.
Yeah. If you don't know, I'll do the blinker fluid story real quick. If you're new to, like, if you're pretty green when it comes to taking care of your vehicle, they'll ask you, you know, your blinker light goes out. They'll tell you, oh, did you forget to refill the blinker fluid? If you know about cars or any, you know, basic knowledge, you know, some people don't think about cars at all. You just get them, you turn the key, you put gas in it, and that's it. But so you'll tell people, oh, you must be out of blinker fluid. And then they'll go to the store to fix their car looking for blinker fluid. It's pretty funny. You just send them on the impossible task.
So that's why I kind of get this is the impossible task. They talk about this monstrous fish that you have to do all these weird things. And people fish with cheese. Like, that is a common thing.
Right, yeah.
Like, that is an actual bait people use and actually have really good success on.
Catfish.
So there's, it's not even just catfish. Some predators really actually eat it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Especially if it's stinky enough.
Well, it's just new. It's got different colors. It produces oils.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a lot of stuff where it's an investigatory bite or whatever. But it's got all these things, and you look at it, and I don't know if it's something to be like, well, if you have greenhorns really bugging you, you tell them to go hunt the Winnipoof because it's the best tasting fish.
Yeah.
We all haven't had one in forever. There's a perfectly round lake over here. Here's a list of what you got to do to catch them.
Got a guy reading that list.
It's like if it's the annoying new guy.
Yeah.
And you send him out, and he's like, and you're like, only men can catch this. You know, you put that kind of spin on it.
I can see that. Actually makes a lot of sense, actually.
And then, but then everybody in the camp already is in on it.
Right, except the new guy.
Right. So everybody's like, yeah, you know, I caught one when I was 18. You know, I caught, you know, or, you know, it's a man's thing.
Right, yeah, right. Sets him right up for it. I mean, pretty equivalent to snipe hunting. Pretty equivalent.
I just think snipes are more used or aimed towards children.
Right, yeah, I know.
Even though a snipe's a real bird.
Right, it is, but not around this area. There's no snipes in Ohio, right?
We have lesser and greater snipes in Ohio.
What? We have what?
Lesser and greater snipes.
Lesser and greater snipes. I can see. I don't know if you're being serious or not. I have no idea.
I don't know. There's nice. I don't know if there's any in Ohio.
Okay, you made that up. Okay. You made this lesser and greater thing up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's a common thing with birds to call one a lesser, one a greater.
I figured. Oh, it's spotted ones too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They got those?
Ruffled tit. That is a bird here in Ohio.
I know. Blue-footed booby snipes.
It's not in Ohio.
I know. Did a project on those birds back in...
There's ruffled tit, mouse tit.
Mm-hmm. I do know about those, yes. Indeed.
I just about made a bad joke.
No, let's not do that.
It was about a cow.
I don't... are you just going to do it now?
Yeah.
Anyways? Okay.
Where would you find a cow tit?
Was that... a bird?
Under the cow.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah.
Under the cow.
It's the first place you should look.
Under the cow. I don't know.
That was utterly awesome.
But some of I don't know. Lumberjack folklore is so weird that it's got a little bit of we talked about explaining natural phenomena. Then it's a little bit of life lessons, and it's a little bit of this kind of stuff.
Right.
And then it's even dealing with we didn't do it the funeral mountain casket beast is one.
Okay.
And it's I think it's a story to deal with mortality and stuff like that. It's really weird. Lumberjack folklore is, I don't know how to explain it. It's not a religion, but it's folklore. I mean, it's a whole group of folklore devoted to a specific type of person that was doing a very hard job in a very harsh area.
You know what it reminds me of equivalent to is cowboy campfire stories.
So yeah.
When you're riding across the country, I don't know. I mean, but they stop at campfire and your entertainment was you tell a story. Wise Kids, actually have a really good skill on that. They tell the fun, they're cowboy, ruffled cowboys, and then they sit and tell campfire stories, but they're really they're not what you think ruffled cowboys come up with. They come up with these really cute stories. And then they, well, stay tuned next week or tomorrow night to see what old Daisy Lou, it's just like little stupid things. It's really, really, really funny.
The best cowboy story ever is in The Good Dinosaur. It's an animated cartoon thing.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's Paul T-Rex.
Yeah. He's like the orange colored looking one, right?
They're all orange, yeah.
Okay, like peachy colored?
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, I remember this.
When he tells his croc story and then he talks about being a man. Being a man is about being scared, but still doing the right thing.
That's right, yeah. I haven't seen that since.
Best cowboy story. It's from a T-Rex.
Wow. I have to revisit that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, The Good Dinosaur. Good throwback. Came out when I was little. I remember watching, I think, right? You sure? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one because that sounds so familiar.
No, you're thinking of the right movie, but it came out when I was in high school.
Then no way. Then I'm thinking of another one then because there's one I watched when I was real young.
You had the T-Rex exactly right.
See, maybe I'm mixing them up then. Maybe my memory is back then because I remember watching a dinosaur movie when I was little, but it wasn't Land Before Time, nothing like that. Maybe you got your dates wrong. Maybe you were shocked. Maybe that movie's older than you think.
Well, what do you think about lumberjack folklore?
I think they're awesome. I mean, I really like them. They're fun. They may have some basis of or some resemblance of truth hidden in them in some way or another. But
I was out of high school when it came out.
Gosh, so I'm definitely thinking of
You're wrong and dumb.
Well, one of those could be true.
2015.
Oh, then I'm not thinking of the same movie. Unless they remade it. I don't know. There's this old dinosaur movie that I'm thinking of that's not Land Before Time.
No, I think you're confusing it.
I have to be.
I think you were thinking of the right movie, and you're just putting it further back in your head.
I'm equating it to another movie from my past, yeah. Some things, when you get my age, some things just bleed together. And who knows? Anything could be possible. Holy moly. There we go. Just my bits on the board, my sound bites. But yeah, I like the Lumberland stories. They're fun. But the Impossible Task one, I never even thought of something like that before. But that makes so much sense.
Oh, like that being some of these?
Yes. It makes so much sense, especially if you're just chilling around like a fire at night. Of course you're going to do that to screw with a new guy. Like, that's just a human nature, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Especially modern day human nature, which modern day, I mean, modern human. It's just, we all got it in us.
I think that's it.
Yeah, this has been fun. Yeah, I like these little stories.
This was little short things. We did this. I mean, as you can see, I didn't read a lot of this beforehand.
Yeah.
Because literally the season finale is like killing me. This is the most words of any script I've ever done.
So buckle up, guys.
I think it's 22,000 words.
That's a lot. It's more than your.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention that.
It's 2,000 more.
But maybe this may inspire some Lumberland art in the future. If you guys got Lumberland art and want to make it, or if any of these stories inspired you, draw something up and send it to our P.O. box. We'll share it on our Facebook page, or if you want to make it, just share it on our Facebook group. That'll be fun.
Heck, we may even buy it from you.
That might be that too. Yeah.
Buy the rights. We buy the rights.
You're right.
No, it's just, I don't know. Lumberjack stuff is so much fun, and we're gearing up for Squonkapalooza. That's our speaking thing, is other lumberland monsters.
Right. At Squonkapalooza in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, where we are speakers at the first annual Squonkapalooza Fest.
Did you say a different town again?
No, Johnstown. I said this time.
I swear you said it. I swear you said something else.
I was doing a weird voice, so I probably
Jamestown or something like that. I'm like,
that's what I said the first time. Because I always think it is James, but you're right. It's John, not James. Johnstown. But yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye. Thank you for listening to Cryptids of the Corn podcast.
Please share with a friend you think would like us. It's the best way to help our show grow.
Leave a comment, rate us, a 5-star review, and remember, there is always extra content on Patreon/cryptidsofthecorn.com.
And don't forget, stay magical.